Ravens Rundown coming up in just a few moments from right now. But before we do, I want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We are closing in on 7,000 subscribers, and we would love to get there before football season, but we need your help to do so. So, subscribe to the Rundown, the latest Baltimore Ravens news and rumors, right here on Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports, youtube.com/Ravens TV. To subscribe today and turn on notifications. You have questions, we have answers. It is a Ravens Rumors mailbag today here on the channel. And we want to break down some of the things going on with the Baltimore Ravens, and we'll bring you all these, what you had to say through the YouTube chat. And this is for subscribers only. You have to be subscribed on the community tab to be a part of what we're doing here on the mailbag. So let's go ahead and get to the first question. This one's from Tim. Tim writes, the Ravens are coming off of a losing season and haven't been to the AFC Championship game since 2014. Is John Harbaugh on the hot seat at all? Whoa. Spicy question there. John Harbaugh on the hot seat? I think that's a stretch. I mean, if you look at the best coaches in the NFL, John Harbaugh is among the elite. I think you start with Bill Belichick, and then after that you go to Andy Reid, and then John Harbaugh, I think, is right there among the best of the best there in the NFL. He, Sean McVay, when you get in that tier of the top 4 or 5 coaches, Kyle Shanahan in that mix as well, then you stay committed to those guys. There is a big gap. I mean, how many teams in the NFL right now, think about this, wished they had John Harbaugh as their head coach right now? It is a lot. And I'll say this, I didn't think that the Ravens were going to fire Brian Billick years ago, a Super Bowl champion head coach right here in Baltimore. So it's not like there's not precedent for this type of thing before, but I expect that things get back on track, that the Ravens have a winning record this season. I think they'll win the division. They'll make the playoffs, and we won't be having silly discussions like this. The guy that I think seat is a little warmer for the Ravens is Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator. John Harbaugh, necessarily, I don't see him being on the hot seat unless things just went terribly wrong for this team this year. So, our pinned comment today, will the Ravens fire John Harbaugh? No. Actually, more like hell no. Let me know in the comments section which way you feel. Type in for no, type H in for hell no. One way or the other, if you think the Ravens will fire John Harbaugh. You're about to get an ad break. Take advantage of it while the ads play and get your votes in. Let me know if the Ravens will move on from John Harbaugh after this year. Next question comes from Benny. What do you think of the Deshaun Watson suspension? So the news coming out on Thursday that the NFL had agreed to a settlement with Deshaun Watson, which takes his suspension from 6 games to 11 games and a $5 million fine that will be going to charity. The NFL and the Browns will each put in $1 million into the fund, so $7 million in total. And I got to tell you, did the NFL improve on this decision? I mean, to an extent, almost doubling his total of games that he was suspended. But they still didn't do the right thing in all this. I mean, as I've stated many, many times before, 24 different women are not lying here, okay? Deshaun Watson is guilty. Whether a court of law says so or not, this man has a lot of problems and has hurt a lot of people. And as far as I'm concerned, he has no business playing in the National Football League at all this season or in the future. I don't know what necessarily enough is, but 11 games, that ain't it. I can tell you that right now. It's better, sure, than what the original punishment was going to be, but 11 games is still laughable as far as I'm concerned. But nonetheless, thanks for the question. Next one from Kid Rock Superfan wants to know, what's next for Tyler Huntley? Well, that's interesting. I mean, I think the Lamar Jackson deal is going to get done, so you don't have to worry about Tyler Huntley potentially being the next quarterback long-term for Baltimore, that he's going to be your guy. He's a very good backup. But I think that if he continues to play well throughout this preseason, if there's an injury, I mean, we saw Zach Wilson almost go down for a while for the New York Jets there. If there's a team like that, that loses their quarterback, is looking for an option, maybe Tyler Huntley could be that guy, a trade of some sorts. I don't think Cleveland is going to be bringing in Huntley for the time that Deshaun Watson's gone, but if he's in Baltimore, I think you're pretty excited about him as a backup. For what he did in that Tennessee game, for the signs that he's shown in parts of last season, I like what Tyler Huntley brings to the table. So, by the way, you mentioned you're a fan of Kid Rock. Here's me and Kid Rock, by the way. This was back in February in Nashville at CRS. Kid Rock, will we see that guy as a U.S. Senator someday? Who knows? I like Kid Rock. Great dude. I got all sorts of stories I could tell you about Kid Rock, but we'll have to save those for another day. Thanks for the question, Kid Rock, super fan. Barry wants to know, what do you think of Shemar Bridges? Will he make the Ravens roster? Shemar Bridges is awesome. He is a really good player. I loved what he was able to do in the Ravens' first preseason game against Tennessee, and we've heard about him for the last few weeks throughout offseason activities and through training camp, how much he had stepped up, and he really just shined out, just balled out in that game against Tennessee last week. Had over 4 catches, touchdown grab. I would hope that Shemar Bridges makes the Ravens roster, that there's a spot for him when it's all said and done. Polk has also been really good as well. Credit to the Ravens scouting staff and the team for what they were able to do to find these diamonds in the rough, these undrafted free agents that already are looking like they're making an impact and have a shot to make this 53-man roster. So, Barry, good question there on Shemar Bridges. I hope he makes the roster. We'll see. Big game for him coming up against Arizona. Who will be the best Ravens rookie in 2022? Could it be Shemar Bridges? Could it be Kyle Hamilton? Tyler Linderbaum? You tell me. Let me know in the comment section who that will be for the Baltimore Ravens in 2022. Today's show is presented by BetUS, and BetUS is offering a great deal for Ravens fans. Listen to this. If you use the promo code CHAT125 at checkout, they will give you a 125% deposit bonus. And you may be asking yourself, Tyler, what is a deposit bonus? Well, it means that if you put $100 down, they're going to give you $125 for free to spend. And it keeps on going up all the way to $500. You put $500 down, they'll give you $625 to spend for free. It's a great deal. It's available just for Ravens Rundown viewers at chatsports.com/bet with promo code CHAT125. Odds for the preseason game this weekend between the Cardinals and the Ravens. Ravens heavy favorites at 6.5. No Lamar Jackson, no Kyler Murray this weekend, but Vegas seems to be high on the Ravens. Over under 39. We'll see what happens there. Next question comes from Monica. Monica wants to know, how concerned are you with the Ravens' injuries? Well, so the Ravens went into training camp with a plethora of injuries already, right? And the thing that I told you before training camp was that things were going to get better. And they have to some extent. J.K. Dobbins looks like he's good to go week 1. Gus Edwards is on track to be back week 1. But then we've seen other things happen. Kyle Hamilton gets dinged up, but he's back. Tyler Linderbaum gets dinged up. These various little things here and there. Tylan Wallace, Charlie Kolar, James Prochet. I mean, look, the Ravens have been hit by this injury bug, it seems, for a while now. And so my concern level for the Ravens as far as that injury bug goes, I would say I'm concerned. I'm not, running out the door calling 911 level concerned, but I am at the point where it doesn't feel good with still a few weeks in the preseason to go when it comes to this concern level. But, yes, there is reason to be concerned. Raven Ron wants to know, #Ravens, Kyle Hamilton for Rookie of the Year. There could be a case to be made. Kyle Hamilton, first and foremost, he's going to have to get on the field. Chuck Clark there, Marcus Williams there. the Ravens have such a deep safety core, and they haven't shown any reason yet that they're going to trade Chuck Clark. And so Kyle Hamilton, as good as he played that first preseason game, I don't know if he starts week one, personally. I think that in order to be Rookie of the Year, you got to start pretty early on. So I don't know if he's going to get the necessary number of snaps, but he is as good as any defensive player there is among the rookie class. So if he gets the opportunity, certainly he could be Defensive Rookie of the Year as far as I'm concerned. Ravens Rundown, covering the latest Baltimore Ravens news, rumors, trades, free agency, and more right here on the channel. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a moment. Subscribe now, youtube.com/RavensTV. And even the great Ray Lewis says to subscribe. Probably. Here's what Ray said, quote, "There's a difference between real Ravens fans and fake ones. The real ones subscribe to Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports to get daily videos." Ray Lewis probably said that. Nonetheless, thank you, Ray, for giving us some love there. Question from Clarence wants to know, expectations for the Cards game. First off, try to stay healthy. Is that asking too much? I mean, that's what I want to see there. Also, what I'm intrigued about is the running game. We saw Mike Davis and Justice Hill play really well without J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards out there. Maybe Tyler Beatty's going to get some more carries. To me, that's what I want to see. What does the running game bring to the table? And then those young receivers. Trying to find those number 3, 4, 5 receivers. Let's see more from Shemar Bridges and those guys and what they can bring to the table. Let's see what the receivers do to step up. Also, Isaiah Likely looked really good in that first preseason game. Let's see what more from him that he could bring to the table there. But a lot of intrigue, I think, for this preseason game coming up on this weekend against the Arizona Cardinals. Before we go, you guys are a real one if you made it to the end of today's video. And so with that, show who you are. We thank you for being a real one and being with us throughout Ravens Rundown today. If you made it to the end of the show, spam flock in the comments section, and we'll see you next time here on the Rundown.